She hasn't paid anything since October 21, right?
That's correct, and that check bounced.
This is a date and time set for front of the court show cause hearing with regard to child support.
The matter of Jason Ravilla versus Shayna Krauss, file number 2015-11971 DC. Ms. Krauss appeared at a show cause hearing on November 16th, 2023, and at that hearing, she requested court-appointed counsel, so the matter was adjourned, and Counselor Matthew Connolly was assigned. The most recent order regarding child support in this matter is the party's order for custody, support, and parenting time that was entered in June of 2015 and requires $240 a month for one child. Let's see, most recent payments made were in October of 2021. That payment was $1,796. Currently, there is a balance owing of $8,645.75. That balance includes $1,796 that was paid in October of 2021 as that failed to clear, so that now is in a recovery account that Miss Krauss owes money on, and the amount that's owed to Mr. Ravilla is $6,720.75. I can pull the payment history up for the court's review.
Well, she hasn't paid anything since October 21, right?
That's correct, and that check bounced.
Okay, so Mr. Connolly, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I asked her, essentially what her employment status was. She's unemployed. She's seeking disability as an appointment.
Just a second, Ms. Krauss, I'm gonna have to put you on mute here because I can't hear Mr. Connolly. There's a child in the background. I couldn't hear what you said, Mr. Connolly.
All right, no problem. Again, the first question I had for her was what her employment status was. She's unemployed currently, and she has for years. She has an appointment coming up on January the 16th to address potentially getting her disability benefits with Social Security. She's also just had an appointment with her treating physician, has made a referral for psychiatric treatment for her, for an evaluation and treatment to try and deal with some of her issues that apparently all stem from a closed head injury she had when she was younger. So that's the only progress she's making here, is attempting to address the disability issue, which probably should have been done years ago, it sounds like, but at least she has an appointment coming up here next month. And again, a psychiatric referral to follow up on as well. So obviously I advised her to make sure those are priority one, to make both of those. And she's currently doesn't have a home of her own. She's just relying on the generosity of friends and people who are letting her basically couch surf or crash at their various residences. So unfortunately, things aren't going really well for her at the moment, but looks like these two appointments might be steps in the right direction.
Did it provide you with any of that paperwork?
She did not, Your Honor.
So here's what I'll do, Ms. Krauss. Any paperwork that you have, you need to provide that to Mr. Connolly because and to the court, or he knows how to file through the court. But I'll give you 60 days to just some proof of that. Otherwise, there's not much I can do here. We haven't had payments in 2 years. What I'm saying is, if it's an appropriate finding for me to find that you don't have the ability to pay, I'm absolutely willing to do that. We just need to have the document. So during this out 60 days, normally I would discharge counsel, but I'm not going to in this case because I really like to see this paperwork come in, and hopefully she can help you out. I don't know if she has a phone where she can reach out to you, anything like that. But if we can get that paperwork in, we can talk about other arrangements. But if we're back in 60 days and it's still maybe sometime going to work on this, I don't think much else I can do about it. But like I said, I'm not opposed to making a finding that she doesn't have the ability to pay, just looking for some proof. So hopefully, Ms. Krauss, you can hear that's what we're looking for. And if you provide that and your caseworker has it, who knows if we even need a hearing. But we will need some documentation on what steps you're taking. I agree, those are positive steps for services you may need, as it sounds. But unfortunately, we're here on a child support order, so there's nothing I can do other than be more than willing to understand and appreciate your circumstances. So that's how I want to handle it. So we'll see you in 60 days. Hopefully everything's, we're at least seeing some proof that we're on track to those statements. And not that I don't believe Mr. Connolly, but that we've got something in our file to corroborate it. So Ms. Krauss, you're all set. And then Mr. Connolly, if you'd hang on because you have another case and we're going to handle it while you're here.
In front of the court, what is the status of this matter? The plaintiff has a support obligation of $60 and a balance of $351. The last payment was received in January of this year in the amount of $100. I had phone contact with the plaintiff on April 4th, and she promised to make a payment by the end of that month. And if she was unable to, she was to contact the office. There's been no payment.
Thank you. Mr. Varga, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client's had the child in question since January of 2024. Apparently, she did not file the appropriate paperwork indicating to the front of the court that she had physical possession of the child or physical custody, I should say, of the child. That paperwork will be filed and we'll be asking for the court's consideration for a payback to Ms. Dotson for the money she's expended for the child support since January 2024. There's also going to be a change of custody filed, Your Honor, to give legitimization to the fact that custody has changed.
No active motion at this time filed, is that correct, counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor. That's my understanding.
I would consider maybe doing an abatement at this time, if you're okay with me putting your client under oath and then just confirming that she is the one having custody at this time.
Yes,
Still
Your
have to
Honor.
file a motion, we could abate it. Any issue with that?
I'm fine with that, Your Honor.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, so Ms. Dotson, you have one minor child in this case, is that correct?
Yes, I have. Well, in this case, yes.
Correct. And what is the current situation then with who that child is spending time with?
My daughter has been with me since January, and she's had no contact with her father other than messaging for the past 3 months.
All right, so not spending any overnights with dad, is that what you're saying?
She has not spent any overtime nights with him at all since January, but she has
Okay.
spoken with him, and then she just started seeing him. She saw him twice since Father's Day.
All right, and were those just short visits or were those overnight visits?
Nope, those are short visits. He came to where we were at and seen her for a little bit. Ended up taking her down the road to his soon-to-be in-laws and then brought her back.
Is there any plan for some overnight visits in the future, or what's the schedule looking like moving forward?
There is no schedule for any overnights at this time.
Based on that information, I would recommend an abatement at this time, since the child is residing with Ms. Dotson. And then we'll address the future following the motions that they're going to file. From the court, any questions regarding that?
No.
Mr. Varga, any questions?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
So, the abatement's not going to go back in time, so there's still the amount that is owed. Any motion can only go back to dates that it was filed, so that back amount is going to be owed, but there's not going to be anything new, any new amounts going forward until we address, either until he objects to the abatement or a motion is filed. So, ma'am, you still need to make the payments. It's not going to continue to go up at this time, but also in the future, if there is a change in custody, then obviously the support might change around also. But that's kind of the current status of where we're at. We'll know more once those motions are filed. All
Very
right,
well.
anything additional, Mr. Varga? No?
No, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you very
thank
much.
you.
Have a good day.